The IATF postpones the opening of cinemas and other leisure venues to next month. The task force says the implementing rules are still up to the LGUs. The country's COVID-19 caseload tops 550,000 amid the threat of more infectious variants. Authorities are establishing a link between one of the latest UK variant cases in the country to the recent COVID-19 outbreak in the MRT-3 depot. The price cap on pork and chicken products has forced some retailers to lay off workers. And Lumad students and teachers who were taking refuge at the university campus in Cebu City were taken away by cops in a supposed rescue operation. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. Metro Manila mayors were caught off guard when the IATF allowed the reopening of cinemas and other leisure establishments without consulting them. Marian Enriquez joins us live from Mandaluyong City for the details. Maan, what are the NCR mayors planning to do about this?
Yes, Sean, MMDA Chairman Ben-Hur Abalos echoed the appeal of all Metro Manila mayors to halt the reopening of cinemas and other entertainment establishments. Abalos emphasized that Metro Manila mayors support the reopening of the economy, but noted that it should be done gradually. He says the threat of the virus is still present, and reopening movie theaters will likely put to waste the country's efforts against the pandemic. Abalos noted that people staying in an enclosed area for over an hour are exposed to a higher risk of contracting the virus. NCR mayors were surprised that they were not consulted on the matter, but they were asked about the easing of seating capacity in religious gatherings to 50%. They also favor the widening of the age bracket allowed to enter malls to 15 years old from 18. Malacanang says they respect the position of the mayors and that consultations are still underway. Abalos said they will have to prepare guidelines on the matter if the IATF's decision to reopen cinemas will push through on March 1. Let's listen to what Abalos said.
I'm one with the economic team na buksan ang economy pero gradual para sa akin. Hindi natin pwedeng biglain. Sayang yung gains that we have had for Metro Manila. Paano yung mga pagkain dyan, paano yung mga test dyan, yung mga temperatura, paano yung mga contract tracing yan, etc. No? So these things, i-guideline po lahat yan. Siguro ikaw, maski libre sine, kakabahan ka kung dadali mo anak mo, baka magkasakit eh.
Sean, the Metro Manila mayors will discuss tonight the issue and will prepare the implementing rules and regulations. And on Wednesday, they will be meeting with the IATF. Sean?
All right, Maan, let's just clarify who really has the final say on the reopening of cinemas and other leisure activities or venues. Is it really the IATF or the LGUs, or should they be doing this together, since that is the IATF's job to really coordinate between different agencies? What happened there?
Yes, Sean, according to MMDA Chair Ben-Hur Avalos earlier, that whatever the IATF's decision would be, whether to push through with the March 1 implementation of the reopening of the cinemas, they will heed to this, and that tonight actually they will be talking about what should be implemented or what should be included in the IRR. And actually they also emphasize that they will be working hand in hand with the local government or with the national government. Sean?
All right, so they've moved or postponed the reopening of leisure venues to March 1. Is it really going to take effect on March 1? And why was the implementation date moved? Is it because of the non-consultation with the LGUs or the city mayors of Metro Manila?
Yes, Sean, we cannot say yet if this will push through on March 1 pending, the talks, the discussion with the Metro Manila mayors. But what we know so far is that Malacanang said that it will be moved to March 1 to give way for the proper consultation. Sean?
All right, I guess we'll watch out tonight for what happens or towards the end of the month. Thank you so much for that update, Maan Enriquez, reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City. And UK variant cases have been detected in several parts of the country, with one linked to a cluster of infections in the MRT3 depot. Despite this, the health department maintains that it is too early to declare community transmission. Greg Gregorio with the report.
Based on the country's biosurveillance, the UK variant of SARS-CoV-2 have already been detected among individuals in various areas of the country. From the first B117 infection in Quezon City who traveled from Dubai, clusters of the more infectious COVID-19 variant have been detected in Bontoc Mountain Province. Authorities then reported new UK variant cases in La Trinidad, Benguet, Davao Region, and among returning overseas Filipinos. Earlier today, the health department confirmed that among the new cases is a 46-year-old female linked to a cluster of cases among MRT3 employees.
Kasi yung anak niya was from the MRT, nagtatrabaho doon. And the case tested positive for COVID-19 on January 25 and is currently undergoing home quarantine. So ngayon, nag-iimbestiga na rin po ang regional office natin sa National Capital Region.
Of the 44, some of the UK variant cases have already recovered, while one was already dead when reported as positive for the variant. From the recently reported cases, 107 close contacts have been identified in Davao, 12 in Mountain Province, and 50 in Ilocos Norte. Despite having cases from various places, the DOH said there's still not enough evidence to declare a community transmission. Vergera even admitted that we are still not sequencing enough samples from all over the country.
Because there are different protocols that are being implemented by specific airlines. So what we did was to coordinate with the Office for Civil Defense. Humingi tayo ng tulong sa kanila para dito sa next runs natin, yung mga samples natin galing sa malalayong lugar na ito ay mapapacilitate na.
The agency is also not keen on reimposing travel restrictions amid the threat of the more infectious variant.
Marami po tayong sinasacrifice kapag nagre-restrictions tayo ng ganito. Since nakikita naman po natin na nag-work na ang ating genomic biosurveillance, nakikita natin kung anong areas na yung mga affected. Second, we were able to revise the protocol kung saan nagkaroon na tayo ng mas appropriate na day of testing.
The DOH is still waiting for the final list of vaccine recipients from the first 34 hospitals that will benefit from their first shipment of Pfizer shots. In the Philippine General Hospital, about 5,700 personnel have already pre-registered.
But as far as the people are concerned, as far as the admin and the management is concerned, we're all set. I think for whatever vaccine comes, for that matter.
As of reporting, there's still no exact date for the arrival of 117,000 doses of vaccines from Pfizer through the COVAX facility. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
And the total number of COVID cases in the country have breached the 550,000 mark. This is after the health department tallied 1,600 new cases on Tuesday, some 27,500 of which are still considered active. Total death toll is now at more than 11,500 after 2 more people died of COVID-19. On the other hand, 14 more patients recovered in the past 24 hours, bringing total recoveries to more than 511,000. In other news, retailers are bending over backwards to comply with the price cap on meat products in the metro. Shyla Francisco joins us live from Makati City for the details. Hi, Shyla. What other measures have retailers taken in the name of compliance?
Sean, some market vendors have started to lay off workers just to be able to comply with the price cap or price ceiling on pork and chicken products. This comes after sales have been cut by more than half since they complied with the order. Retailers say they have no choice but to follow the order or they will face penalties and worse, lose more customers. Supplies from dealers also remain scarce and sometimes deliveries arrive late. For their part, dealers say farm gate prices have gone up by 20 to 40 pesos since last week. Because of this, they are not buying hogs for the past 2 days. If they do, they source supply from farther areas, which explains the late deliveries to markets. The Agriculture Department is also looking into the reason behind higher prices of hogs that are being transported using sea vessels despite transport subsidies. Dealers and retailers are now calling on the government to impose a ceiling on farm gate prices. This will prevent dealers from nearby provinces not covered by the price cap to buy hogs at a higher price. The DA says they have a farm gate price in effect together with subsidies for transportation for hogs they are helping bring into NCR. As for those not under this program, the agency is also studying whether they could regulate prices of farm inputs to make farm gate prices lower. Sean, the DA has so far issued notices of violations to at least 6 retailers in wet markets and supermarkets, but this does not include those monitored by the local government units. Sean?
All right, thank you for that update, Shyla Francisco, joining us live from the city of Makati. And here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. The Freeman reports that cops have apprehended students and teachers taking refuge at a campus of the University of San Carlos in Cebu. It's not immediately clear what they were captured for, as they did not seem to be armed or held against their will. The National Police later on acknowledged that the supposed rescue operation of minors was actually a raid. President Duterte is now willing to receive his COVID-19 jab in public. The president initially insisted to be vaccinated in private. Malacanang has yet to announce when Duterte's vaccine will be administered. And protesters in Myanmar remain undaunted in their calls for the release of Democratic leader Aung San Suu Kyi amid military provocation. Myanmar's junta deployed more armored vehicles to several parts of the city and put more soldiers on the streets. Suu Kyi's arrest on February 1 ignited the biggest protests in the Southeast Asian country in more than 10 years. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao, and we are One News.